What is going on, fellow fans of Clash of Clans? Thank you guys so much for choosing to spend a few minutes of your day with me, with Galadon, talking about Clash of Clans. Today, an informational episode hoping to put to rest some myths that I see perpetuated around the Clash of Clans community continually. Okay, this has been going on for years, and once and for all, I wanted to help dispel these rumors, these myths, these misconceptions about the clouds and trophy hunting. Okay, these are three things that players commonly mistake for being truthful when they are absolutely not. And again, this is verified information directly from Darian, the Clash of Clans community manager working for Supercell. I talked to him about this and he says these are absolutely false. And I wanted to pass this on because I know a lot of players are making these mistakes and they're thinking that they work. Now, I'll tell you right now that some of these may have worked for you or for another player once or twice or even a few times. But you know what? And for those of you that are into gambling, that's a big thing for me. I love to gamble. I used to go to Vegas all the time. And there's that thing where, hey, I moved to a slot machine and I sat down and I won on the first pull. And because I did something, whether it was I sat down and spun the chair around, I sat down after another player had just left, I sat down at a machine that nobody had played with for hours, and then I immediately won, then it's called the gambler's fallacy. You develop this misconception where you think the two things are linked. But remember, correlation does not imply causation. Use that one on your parents at the dinner table sometime and watch them react. But it's true. So just because it may have worked for you once or twice does not mean that it actually causes it to happen. Let's go ahead and get into these, okay? The first one, and probably the most common, is the language server myth. And this is the theory that you can find better offers or bases more quickly by changing language. If you're in English, go to the language settings in your game, change it to Chinese, change it to Dutch, change it to Norse, change it to Spanish, whatever, and then you'll be put into a different pool of players and much more likely to find another base. This is completely false. No, it is one big pool of players, and changing that only changes the language, the text in your game. It does not change the bases that you are searching for, and you will not see any change by changing the languages. So yes, again, some players feel like it's worked for them, and hey, you know what? Honestly, I'll tell you right now, it's worked for me in the past before. I changed to German the other day, and boom! Immediately I found a base. I'm like, holy crap, it works, German server, that's the way to go. But no, I before that I knew that it didn't work. But I'm just saying, it seemed like it worked because I found a base right away, but it actually doesn't change it. Okay, let's go ahead and move right on to number 2, and this has to do with your shield status. Some players believe that you will find different offers whether you are on shield or you are on village guard, or maybe how much time you have left on your shield, anything like that. Again, no, it is completely unrelated. There is no link between your shield status and the bases that you are going to find. You are still in this pool, in this queue of players that is searching for a base, and that will never alter what base you are going to find. Now, I will tell you this, before we get on to number 3, I will tell you there is something that does work. Okay, there is something that will actually help you find bases more quickly, and this is a true and proven thing that I have seen. And it comes down to, you ready for this? Time of day. Okay, the time of day that you are searching, sometimes you will find more bases than others. Now, I also have to thank my good friend Kitty COC because he did a bunch of research on this, and this is actually kind of common sense, you guys. If you think about it, you've got sleep cycles for people around the world, and while yes, players do play all the way around the world, there are pockets where there are higher concentrations of players in different regions of the world. So you're going to have to check this one yourself dependent upon where you are in the world, but I have found there are a couple of different periods of time during the day, and as you guys know, I spent like 16, 18 hours in the clouds last season. There are pockets of time where you will find more bases, and it can be sporadic, it can be unreliable, but that right there is really the only thing I have ever found to affect how often you can find a base. Now, getting on to number 3, and this is another big mistake, and this mistake costs players hours and hours of their time and tons of trophies every single season. And there's been a lengthy discussion in my clan in Lost Phoenix about this theory as well, and it's completely false. Here is the myth. It says if you pass a low trophy offer, you're likely to find a better offer next or another base sooner. Okay, so players sometimes, and I know I've heard players that do this all the time, if they receive that minimum trophy offer, if they're a Legend League player and they get a 6 trophy offer, their theory, and this is a theory that has been passed around incorrectly, is that if I click next, I will find another base that's a much higher offer next time. Or I will find a base quickly next time, much more quickly than it took me to find this last base. Again, untrue. It is the only analogy I can make to you guys right here is, have you ever called, say, the phone company or the DMV, and that obnoxious message comes on that says, we are very busy and you are 6th in line, and if you hang up, you're just going to get pushed to the back of the queue? That's what's happening here, okay? You are hanging up on Clash of Clans. Don't hang up on Clash of Clans. You hit next, and it's true. You were going to the back of the line. It is like hanging up on the cable company when you were number 2, or actually more like when you were number 1, and the cable company was like, hello, can I help you? And you're like, click. I'm going to hang up on this guy. I'm going to call back because I'm going to get a better customer service representative who's going to give me better answers. So the truth of the matter is, no, that you don't ever want to do that. If you're passing bases, you are giving up trophies. Okay, and that is just the fact of the matter. Now, there is, of course, this other thing that I wanted to talk about, and that is the idea that players are really upset about clouds. And I do think that to an extent, clouds are necessary in Clash of Clans. And what I mean by that is, if we completely eradicate clouds from the game, and you can get a base every time that you click, you find a base, then what happens? Clash of Clans becomes completely pay to win. Okay, then it becomes the player with the most gems gets the most attacks, and they pull out ahead in trophies and get the season lead every single season because they have an endless supply of gems, which most of us don't, and I don't either. Okay, I don't. I know I don't. Knock it off. Okay, and I'm just saying, so you don't want to have to do that. I mean, if you look at how much it takes to set up a Town Hall 12 army, even on boost, and the heroes, you know, even if you have the armies boosted, you're going to spend about 150 gems or more to regenerate your 3 heroes after an attack where they went down. And imagine that's every single attack. That's not even including spells and troops. So no, I do think that a certain amount of clouds are necessary and are good for the game. At the same time, I wish the clouds weren't as bad as they are right now, and I know that the player discussion continues as to what is the answer and what is the best way to handle the cloud problem. And on that front, you guys, I have to apologize because I do not have the answers. I was not able to get a full in-depth interview from Supercell regarding clouds, regarding what is going to happen in a future update or updates to fix this problem or to change it in some way, shape, or form. And also, there's something else that I've long wondered about that I feel like is just about as closely guarded a secret as the Google search algorithm, and that is exactly how this queue system works. Because it does have quirks, it does have strange things that happen where you could have 2 players that are almost at the exact same trophy count, yet one player will get 3 bases and the other player has sat in the clouds the entire time. And that one has never been explained to me. I want to know the answer, and I know you guys want to too. So if it so happens that I can get back to Finland and corner somebody from the Clash of Clans team, or at least ask them nicely about these questions, I will promise to bring you guys that news as soon as I possibly can. Because hey, you guys know, above all else, this is the channel that you can turn to for the earliest and the most accurate update information on Clash of Clans. It's been that way for over 5 years, and it is going to continue that way as long as I can draw a breath and as long as I love playing Clash of Clans, which I absolutely do. So thank you guys, as always, for sticking around, for hanging out to the end of the episode. Make sure you ask your questions down below, because we will have a future developer Q&A. I hope I brought you guys a little bit of entertainment. I hope you get out there, have a fantastic rest of your day, be kind to one another, love your family and your friends and animals, and of course, come back again tomorrow for more Full Attacks.
Galadon, I'm kind to animals. After all, I named our dog Awesome.